Australia's been a leader in micronutrient research. The first documented example of a micronutrient deficiency and crop responding to it was manganese deficiency in the lower southeast of South Australia on oats. And that was an important scientific step, and also an important step for growers in using micronutrients, in that case manganese, to overcome a yield limitation. Subsequent to that, we've seen responses to other micronutrients: copper, zinc, boron, manganese, molybdenum, and all of those play a role in particular situations. None of them in their own right will cure the problems of everything. They represent a solution where the limitation is the nutrient, and oftentimes that limitation's not just related to the availability of the nutrient per se, but due to the soil conditions. For example, with manganese, we get manganese toxicity where a soil becomes waterlogged. So the solution obviously is better drained soil, but also to improve the soil pH, because manganese is released and becomes more available where there are acid soils. Similarly with micronutrients, other micronutrients, there are situations where we know that micronutrients are most commonly of low availability. Classic is on alkaline soils with zinc. Zinc is the classic deficiency in much of the Wimmera and Mallee, and we've done some surveys of grain micronutrient contents, and zinc in our region here might be 18 to 20 milligrams per kilogram of zinc, and that's compared to a value from another area which has got a different soil type, maybe a neutral to acid soil, of 30 milligrams per kilogram. So 2/3 the zinc content. And the issue for that is twofold. Firstly, zinc is an important nutrient for nutrition, not just of plants, but also for animals. And humans as part of that too. 400,000 children a year die because of zinc deficiency if they're living on grain-based diets. So that's in the poorest countries of the world. And those increasing grain availability, increasing the zinc content and the zinc availability of grain represents an important aspect in terms of improving human nutrition. The other aspect is, at a farmer level, is that improving zinc also improves early vigour in crops. So if you supplement a crop with zinc later in the season, you mightn't get a yield benefit, but the seed that comes out to be then used in subsequent crops, used for seed for subsequent crops, will be more vigorous than seed that's got low zinc. So those are the sorts of micronutrient issues we know about. So that there's actually no added benefit to having micronutrients applied in every situation. If there's adequate micronutrients in the soil, adding more micronutrients doesn't have any yield benefit. So in terms of being a silver bullet for improving crop yields, certainly in some cases we'll get fantastic responses, but in other cases it'll just be almost a waste of money. With the examples with micronutrients do occur. They come up all the time of particular situations where you get fantastic results. Trials on the Eyre Peninsula showed almost a tripling of yield with small doses of copper. And this was work led by Nigel Wilhelm, which we all participated in across southern Australia. But it does show that there are situations where you can get very big responses where where micronutrients are limited. But we have to be careful about identifying those situations. Neither soil tests nor tissue tests are entirely reliable in terms of diagnosing micronutrient deficiencies. Sometimes it's useful just to consider the soil situation, pH, texture, whether it's waterlogged, whether it's dry, whether it's cold, whether it's wet, conditions. All those things can affect micronutrient availability.